Look that came off childish rather than scary, and slithered away on his snake-like body. I stood there waiting for Warden Rinslow to finally explain why he called me to his office after ignoring me for 5 years, but the Takari kept fumbling with his screen as if I wasn't even there. There was nothing I could do but wait, so I turned on my INAS, or Internal Nanite Analysis System, and rewound my last battle in the arena to check for any weaknesses I might have displayed during the fight. I had fought 2 Ulan Jin warriors from the other side of Zan. They called them the Tunnel Brothers, which was as lazy a name for 2 Ulan Jins as you could imagine. What hadn't been boring, though, was their fighting style. Half the time you had to keep your senses extremely sharp and follow the tremors around the arena so you could pinpoint their location. Fail to do so, and they'd burst up right from underneath you, clawing you in half with their giant fangs. I had saturated the ground with HNAN cells during our battle, creating a loose network that helped me identify their locations. Both died while still tunneling from under me, which had gotten the crowd rather angry. They enjoyed seeing blood and torn bodies, not buried corpses. After they hadn't come up for several minutes, the staff had to dig them out to confirm the kills. The replay showed no significant mistakes on my side, though. Plenty of mistakes on theirs. Just as it finished, the warden finally graced me with another look and spoke. "You qualified for the Sular Zan Games," he said, as our eyes met for a brief instant before returning to the screen as if not interested in my answer. "I have, yes," I replied. I wasn't too excited about it, if I had to be honest. My last fight secured me a position in the Sular Games, which happened once every 5 years when Zan made a full circle around its star. It was the most important event on Zan, and a real opportunity for freedom if you happened to defeat 30 of the most vicious criminals in the galaxy with a little more than your bare hands. "You want to compete, I assume?" "I do," I said, realizing what the motive for this meeting could be. "You've scored first in your block, second overall in Kavaz Zan prison, so you should have every right to participate, right?" Rinslow said with a serious face. "I still need your approval, sir," I replied again, already knowing where this was heading. "You do need my approval, Stavos. So, what are you willing to give me for my approval?" he asked with a hint of a grin. "I shouldn't have to give you anything, Warden. I qualify by merit." The Takari sighed and intermeshed his fingers, then leaned his reptilian head on his leathery hands while looking studiously at me. "Why would you want to make an enemy of me, Stavos? You want something, I want something. Let's come to an agreement." "Yeah, right, an agreement." I had already earned my place in the tournament by walking over a mountain of bodies. A warden's approval was a mere formality, yet I knew Rinslow could easily lock me out of the fights and destroy my only opportunity at freedom if I didn't play his little game. "What do you want, Warden?" Rinslow smiled and leaned back into his chair. "You were Commonwealth Federation Forces." "I was." "You were a lieutenant. That's very impressive." He waited for a moment to see if I'd comment on that. I wasn't a lieutenant for longer than a week before I ended up in the damned prison. Not that it mattered what I used to be, as all that mattered in here were power and skill. "So?" "Not the talkative one as usual, huh? Anyway, you seem like you have your wits about you. No unjustified murders, no rape, and no theft in the last 5 years. You're the poster boy Zan prisoner." I wondered what the hell he was talking about. No unjustified murders? Bad things happened in the last few years. Bad things that I was part of more than once. Now he called them justified murders, but back then I spent a month in solitary and almost died of malnutrition. He was buttering me up for something he truly needed. I decided to go along with it and see how I could turn it to my advantage. "You're right, sir." "Of course I am, Stavos. I always am. But see, you were sent here as a deserter from the CFF.